Hello there, my name's Sam Green, and this is going to be a useful video for you if you're a business owner or manager and you're trying to get to grips with what on earth to do about Covid-19 and getting your people back into the workplace and complying with all these new requirements. And so this is a whistle-stop tour. I'm going to whiz through top 10 things that you really need to know about managing Covid-19 in this new world that we're all getting used to. So the first thing to be aware of is that Covid-19 is now classed as a work-related hazard, which essentially means that you as the employer are responsible for the health, safety and welfare of your employees as always, and as part of that you're responsible for managing the risks arising from Covid-19, which I'm sure everyone appreciates are not small. The second thing is Covid-19 cases now are likely to be RIDDOR Reportable. That's reportable to the Health and Safety Executive. If you really have any evidence pointing to the fact that the employee or a third party caught that disease whilst at work, i.e. from another employee, for example, then you really should be reporting that to the Health and Safety Executive. HSE are the enforcement authority, so if they see that you haven't appropriate provisions in, such as a risk assessment or safe procedures, such as for cleaning or access to welfare and social distancing, then they have provisions to shut you down and to issue you with notices, and potentially, I think the most likely, obviously it'd be up to them to decide on case by case, but the most likely result is potentially an on-the-spot fine. One really important thing that I think is one of these myths that a lot of people are purporting is that all other safety law still stands. There's no provision for leniency or for delay around implementing other safety law just because we've got unprecedented circumstances, as hard as they are. So what is the status of this new guidance? Well, there's a whole raft of new guidance. If you found the government link, you'll know that there are 8 pieces of guidance, documentation. They're about 30 plus pages each, and they're set out for different industries or industry groups. So there's one for offices, there's another one for construction sites, there's another one for factories and so on. The status of that guidance, it's not a legal requirement actually to follow it, but it is a test or a measure by which the Health and Safety Executive will use to determine whether you have done everything that you needed to under the Safety at Work Act. There are some other really important considerations around managing Covid-19. You're going to want to be sitting down with your employees that are returning to work and asking them some questions, for example, that might involve some personal and sensitive data. So think about employment law and have a chat with your employment law advisor or a good solicitor. Think about talking to occupational health. If you're thinking about health screening, please don't try carrying out health screening yourselves, such as temperature checks. You really want to get some proper advice. So for example, you really need to get written permission to be doing that. So if you do that without not understanding what the requirements are, you could fall foul. Think about equality. We know that some sectors in the community have been hit much harder than others from Covid-19, and so you've got to be ever so careful that your control measures don't unintentionally discriminate, for example. And then think about data. So general data protection regulations and information you might be gathering, such as where people are, personal phone numbers, for example. I know some construction sites are requiring a mobile phone to be held with operatives and tradesmen and tradespeople, if you like, before they head onto site. Check with your insurer. The information I've had so far to date is that insurance policies look like they do cover for cases of Covid, but it's worth checking with your broker that you do actually have cover for that. That was number 7. Number 8, there's a separate video that I've prepared and posted on masks and face coverings, but the short advice is really should not be issuing masks or personal protective equipment to protect employees from Covid, and there's a whole bunch of reasons why it's a really bad idea. So number 9, just a few things, this is just a whistle stop as I said earlier. Returning employees essentially need 2 things. They need you to ask them a lot of questions about their health and whether they're shielding or living with somebody vulnerable. for example, but they also need information. They need a reinduction, and that reinduction needs to cover all of the new arrangements that you have. And if you wanted a COVID risk assessment writing especially for you, then please don't hesitate to get in contact with us. We're available on 0116 216 9224 or all the W's greensconsultancy.co.uk. And then number 10, supervisors, managers, team leaders, line managers, people that are looking after small teams in your organisation need to be carrying out symptom checks. So these want to be visual at social distancing, not intrusive of course, but they should be symptom spotting. And of course it almost goes without saying that anybody who displays symptoms needs to be going home, and then I would refer you to the NHS link, which you might post on the back of this video so you can see where that is, where you can run through a series of questions to verify whether it looks like the symptoms do point to COVID-19 or not. So there's a top 10 for you. Number 1, COVID-19 is a workplace hazard. Number 2, it's RIDDOR Reportable or maybe. Number 3, Health and Safety Executive are doing spot checks and they may shut you down or fine you. Number 4, all other safety law stands. Number 5, this guidance doesn't have to be complied with, but it is a measure that is used. Number 6, think about employment law, occupational health, equality and general data protection. Number 7, check with your insurer. Number 8, don't issue masks as protection, certainly not work wrap masks like dust masks. Number 9, returning employees need reinduction and you need to establish that they're in good health. And number 10, supervisors should be carrying out symptom checks. So I really hope those top 10 are useful for you. Please don't hesitate to get in contact if you want some more advice on the phone one-to-one. I'm more than happy to talk through and give you some free initial advice, or if you need any safety documentation whatsoever, you can find all our details on our website. Thank you very much.